Are you struggling to close deals? Cold outreach is wasting the time of both the buyer and seller at every stage, especially when sellers are using shallow and outdated data. Your organization can overcome these challenges with technology that translates comprehensive, high-quality buyer data into real-time insights. These deeper insights empower sales reps and teams to adopt the habits of top performers, which leads to better outcomes, like more pipeline, higher win rates, and larger deals. We call this deep sales. And we've built the first deep sales platform with the next generation of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/trial. That's linkedin.com/trial for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/trial and get started.
Welcome to Criminality, the podcast that we started because we love reality TV, we love true crime, and so very often the two stories overlap. So here we are. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Rebekah. At this point, we can't even keep up. Truly. People send us stuff. You just scroll through Twitter, TikTok. They will not stop breaking the law.
This would and should and could be a full-time job. If we were better at it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
If we were more diligent
had our lives together.
Employees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's true. I, for the first time, feel like I can't actually keep up. Like I don't have the mental capacity, the heart, the strength of mind and body.
It does take a warrior.
I am not fit for the job right now. I need to get some more strength training in. It is fun what I catch. I mean, not fun. It depends on the story, right?
Some of them very fun. Some of them unfortunate.
Well, I think we should start today's episode and story. But before that, it's time for Under Tori's Spell.
Under Tori's Spell. Rebekah, once again, we've been gifted with even more Tori. Again, no rhyme or reason when the episodes come out. It just keeps you guessing.
It's a reason to get up in the morning, which, I have a short list at this point, and that is on it. So thank you, Tori, I guess.
The sad thing is it's like the first thing. As soon as I see it, I'm like, Rebekah has to know. I don't care what time of morning it is. I did see it at 12:30 last night. And I was like, not yet, Melissa.
You're like, wait till the morning.
She will need her strength.
Well, this morning was like Sophie's choice because I'd already started listening to Ron and Benny's.
See, we do that all the time.
Ronnie and Ben's recap of Real Housewives of New Jersey. So I was already partway through part one of that. And obviously that's going to focus on Teresa. Then you send me Tori's newest episode, which features an interview with Teresa. And I'm like, this is just a lot of Teresa on a Tuesday morning.
It's
don't
overkill.
know if I can do both. And you were wise and said, well, what did you say?
I said if we're doing Tori, you gotta do it.
I gotta move to the Tori, and so glad I did. So tell me one of your takeaways.
So well, I'll go back to a recent episode. This was the last week, so I'm going to pull
do you remember?
From there.
That's amazing.
Because I
couldn't remember.
listened to it 3 times. It really is like my go to sleep thing now. I don't know why. I'm back
She's
into
got the
hoarder's
voice of an
territory.
angel.
I'm in my Grey Gardens era, Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling edition.
Wow. So she was talking about her 18th anniversary and how this year would have been her 18th anniversary with Dean.
I remember. Yeah.
And different things she made for him and stuff like that. So I found out, and this is a nice, very cool thing. She made a valet tray out of pennies from the year she was born, he was born, and they got married. So this tray you can kind of leave all your stuff in. She made that for him. And she then went on about how crafty she is. And she's so crafty and Jenny brought her to Hobby Lobby first, or Michael's, or Joann's. I don't know. She had never been inside one. So that didn't feel like on a spiritual level that was important, but I wanted to give her something because the rest of these are terrible.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's the thing. Well, you're reminding me, she also made a bench. Remember that?
I hope you all heard me rolling my eyes at that, because this bench, she acted like it was the most important thing
I know
that two people have ever shared, but she didn't bother to make it okay for the weather and moved it into every home she had, and it broke and she still has the pieces. Like, there was just a lot where it was like, buy a candle. Maybe just buy a candle for him.
I know. It was I don't know if over the top is the word, but she made them a bench because it was wood, like to sit in when they're old and like look at their grandchildren together.
You know what I'm not going to do? Sit in a bench. A wooden bench at my future old age? Never.
I know. Aren't we supposed to have like a curved Adirondack rocking chair at that point?
Thank you. I need cushions to watch these children. It felt very Robin Brown coded with her sitting on a bench.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Maybe she'll be the next guest. So, okay, well, I learned, because I could only go from the newest episode because I couldn't think back all the way. And I need to start a dedicated notes folder just for her episode so I can always retrieve. Let's get organized and start taking this seriously as it deserves. I wrote that she's okay with bird murder, which surprised me as the animal lover she is. Did you hear her talking to Teresa about getting a bird?
Okay, yes. Continue, because I've only listened to this episode once. I'm sorry,
so
guys.
you're behind.
I can only do it once. Mm-hmm.
Well, I did too, but this stuck out. So I guess one of Teresa's daughters wants a bird, and Tori was there for the conversation on the phone or something. And Teresa's like, no, we have 4 dogs. And I've got 4 daughters and 4 dogs. And so Tori's like, no, it's fine, because the bird gets scared of dogs barking. So Tori had a pink bird that she got because she was pink. And her dog barked, and literally the bird got so scared it like dropped off the branch in the cage and just dropped dead, I guess. Yeah. Trigger warning, animal death. So, and Tori was like, oh no. And she's like, no, it was fine. And I was like, this is not the Tori I've come to know on the podcast, who loves animals. So much so that she lets them use the bathroom on her bed and in her suitcase.
Pre-intercourse, she allowed that to happen.
That's love. First dates, right. So she's okay with birds just dropping dead in her presence, and even suggested to Teresa not to worry, that you have 4 dogs could be a good thing because the bird might not last that long. And wow, Tori, wow.
Oof, wow. I enjoy that one. So I accidentally saw your list because you sent it to me, so I will not do any repeats. But I have another one. Just randomly throughout the last episode, not this one, the one before, she talked about going through probably her storage locker again, shrink. She mentioned finding teeth. All of her wisdom teeth were there. Her daughter found all of her wisdom teeth that a grown adult woman still has of hers with the root, and she wouldn't throw them out. And I'm supposed to believe she got rid of all of her storage units, and she kept teeth.
Well, that's a discrepancy, right? Because you know what I'm about to say.
I know
it. We think she's a liar who lies, and here's a little lie we caught her in. She said she got all her storage. She got them all. She got it down to 1 unit, right? And these were big units. Remember, like she told us, these are not like the you and I storage war. These were huge, and she got it down to 1. But then, in the very next episode, even her assistant said, "Well, no, you still have 1," and she said, "No, I have none.
I got rid of all of them.
I got rid of all of them." So, which is it, Tori?
Well, we know what it is. There's still teeth dangling around somewhere.
And where there's teeth, there's who knows? I can't wait to hear what she pulls out of her Mary Poppins storage next. She loves to tell stories like that make her sound weird and alternative.
Yeah, it's a quirky girl, right?
Yeah, kind of dark. Okay, yeah, that was a good one. And this, I feel like, could end up, we might be adding this to the lie category. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe her entirely, but she told Teresa she's been asked to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay.
Why don't I believe her?
I Googled it before this conversation for the same reason.
Okay.
And it said there were rumors of her being on there.
That she put out?
Yeah, obviously. But so it has come up before. But yeah, she
Okay.
was very much like, yeah, they asked me, but I was nervous. And I
Yeah. She's like, well, the thing is, I quoted this, I have mad rhythm.
right. Mad rhythm.
But if she has to start like counting, actually, I feel the same way. I'm like, I feel like I know how to move and dance at a wedding. I'm not even going to say the club because let's be real. But like, I can dance. But if you choreograph something for me, I'm pretty sure I would get in my head and I would forget how to. I would be Joe from Vanderpump Rules, like roboting inadvertently out of nowhere. Just
Right.
so I'm not going to say I don't believe her on that part. I just can't believe she would turn it down. That I can't believe.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
That's the part where I would call a liar a lying
Yeah.
liar who lies. Rebekah, I can't dance, and I did send you a recent video of me on a Jumbotron dancing.
Oh my
And-
gosh. Wait, you have mentioned it now. So does that mean you're willing
Oh, yeah.
to share it?
I don't care. Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
ridiculous.
gosh. It's going to be, we'll make the day of everyone who sees it.
Know that they had all the moms stand up, and my son was dancing the entire time. And so this was a, I'm doing this for you, kid. But people did recognize my new moves and mentioned it to me as I walked out. So
Of course
saying
they
they're
did.
bad,
I
but
saw the
yeah.
video. If you guys
It's
like
memorable.
Melissa, you're going to adore her. After this video, you are going to love her and want to be her friend.
Yep. Yes. You'll definitely be like, let me sit by her. I want to be with her. Yeah. So I felt for her in that moment because I can't dance either way. So if she
Yeah.
has mad rhythm. She has mad rhythm.
But wait, just before we move on, the reason I really don't believe her is because Teresa said, when she did Dancing with the Stars, and Tori was like, I want to do Dancing with the Stars. And she's like, you should be on Dancing with the Stars. And she's like, oh, well, they asked me. And I just don't think that, I think the first reaction was true. And the second
sure.
was like, I don't want to seem less famous than Teresa Giudice.
Nor would anyone
Well, for sure.
do that.
Yeah. So I think the truth was the first response and the partial truth was the second.
Yeah. But on our list of things that she told the truth about that she
Yeah.
shouldn't have, I would go with when she talked about partying when she was younger. And by that, she meant going to a friend's house at 12 years old. And she would just rile everybody up because she was so funny. Her words, absolutely not mine. Mine. And they had to call her mom, Rebekah. And why did they have to call her mom?
Wait, was this on my list?
Oh, it's on your list because it was on mine, but we're not letting it go.
Because when I reread it, I thought, I don't trust myself that that's what she said, but is it? Okay, here's what we learned.
Exactly it.
She riled everyone up and everyone was laughing so hard because she, wait for it, drum roll please, peed in a punch bowl.
Peed in a punch bowl. She was so funny. And her example of that was peeing in a punch bowl.
List of funny things in adolescent behavior. What would one be? I just feel like peeing in a punch bowl isn't one.
Yeah.
I think that's a different list. I think that's like a list of troubling behaviors.
That was on a list for her doctors. But
Yeah,
yes, she
that's
did do
like-
that.
You mentioned that to the pediatrician to see if they have referrals. I don't think this is normal or funny.
No, but the funny was really where I got lost because I'm already like, what funny situation? And then she says the funny situation. And I think that's an indoor thought. Inside
I
thought.
think she was the only one laughing.
Oh, yeah. I don't think. Yeah. I can't.
It's unbelievable. It's so unbelievable. I couldn't believe I'd written it on my list and I had to. I'm glad you set me up for it because I don't think I was going to say it because I'm like, that didn't happen. I didn't.
It absolutely
Surely I
did.
didn't hear that. Guys, this is what you're missing if you're not listening to Misunderstood.
Nope. That's Rachel. You could tell. This is. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's something different. What is Rachel You Could Tell's? Hang on.
It's Misunderstood. But
Are they
it's
both
misspelling. Is this podcast, but I said Misunderstood, which is Rachel You Could Tell's, which we've talked about on this show. See, Tori really missed she could have had such a better title.
She's been through it. She and Teresa are best friends, though, so that's all that really matters.
Oh,
At the
yeah.
end of the day.
Twin flames, those two. I wrote down 2 wrongs don't make a right. And what I meant was those two together don't create something better than the sum of their parts, like not better together.
No, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah. I think story time at storage or in storage would have been fun for her podcast. Like the sound of the metal door going up every time She should have kept one and recorded it in there every time.
She has one. We know she has one.
I know.
I refuse to believe it. She's lying to her friend. She's lying to us.
And she should make it her friend that she pays.
Her best friend. Everyone is
friend
a
on
best
the payroll. We could go on, but we have other people to talk about. Wait, so that was 3 things because our third thing was kind of shared, right?
Yeah, Yeah, I think we did enough damage there. I think she did enough damage there.
Yeah, we'll tune in next time for another segment of Under Tori's Spell. Oh my gosh, so fun. Well, it's not about Tori Spelling, but I bet there's a Tori Spelling connection in this somewhere. Maybe it'll come out. Okay. Well, are you ready to jump in?
I'm so excited.
Follow me back to 2008, if you will, to a little show on Bravo called Millionaire Matchmaker, hosted by Patti Stanger, which I've looked up and listened to and heard her say so many times, and every time I say it, still feel like I'm saying it wrong. It's Stanger. Right. Patti Stanger.
Well, I will say I saved this episode as Patti Stanger because I couldn't remember it. That's how weird I think the name is.
Well, yeah, Stanger would roll off a lot more easily. It just looks like it should be Stranger or anyway. Millionaire Matchmaker logline. This show explores themes of tradition, family, faith, and the tensions between the old ways and new ideas against the backdrop of social and political upheaval. Sorry, that's the logline for Fiddler on the Roof.
I was like, religion?
I was not well when I wrote this, which is also about matchmakers.
Oh.
And like Fiddler on the Roof, Patti comes from a family of matchmakers. She is a 3rd-generation matchmaker, but her family's matchmaking business would probably have looked more like Jewish Matchmaker, which we've talked about, which is a newer Netflix matchmaking show, which I loved, that specializes in Orthodox and Hasidic communities that honor the traditions and rituals that went along with their religion. So that's what her family has done for generations.
Got it.
So Patti was trained in that specific corner of matchmaking, but she had a very different vision for her own career. After 20 years in fashion and marketing, Patti wanted to get back into the family business of matchmaking, but she wanted to do it her way. So in the year 2000, Patti stated that, quote, successful men in the dating arena needed a private, exclusive club where they could come to find their beautiful and intelligent wives, end quote. So she developed a business that worked exclusively with high net worth bachelors that was called Millionaires Club LLC. By 2008, she was successful and she caught the attention of Bravo and got her very own reality show, Millionaire Matchmaker. Millionaire Matchmaker follows a very straightforward, common reality TV format. Each episode features Patti as matchmaker along with her team working with wealthy clients to find them suitable partners. So there's the client introduction where we learn who the millionaire client is that's seeking a romantic partner. It usually goes into their background, interests, what they're looking for, why they haven't found it yet.
Mm-hmm. That's always what I'm interested in.
Yeah. And what they say it is versus what it actually might be. Might be just that they want to be on this show. Says all we need to know. Then there's the matchmaking, where Patti and her team search for the matches to go with the client. And this involves the screening, which we're going to get into a little bit in more detail. Screening the potential candidates, arranging mixers, which are like these little social dates, one-on-one dates, and sometimes even conducting background checks, but not according to anything I read. Yeah. Then there's the actual date, and then there's the feedback and follow-up, where the client provides feedback to Patti about how it went, and so does the date. So she gets kind of like the he said, she said version of events. The show concludes with the client either finding a compatible match or deciding to continue their search elsewhere. Did you watch this? What is? Tell me about Millionaire Matchmaker and Melissa.
Yeah, it's a one-off show for me. I've seen some, feels very doctor's office appropriate, but I've never sought it out.
Yeah, I would say I'm the same. And why I chose this, still unclear.
I did Gary Busey last week, and well, where's my interest there?
Yeah, so sometimes things just happen, but I learned a lot. So good, we'll learn together. My relationship is exactly the same. I will say, in doing this story and rewatching some things, I remembered a lot that I had mostly blocked out, and for good reason. So the show premiered on Bravo in January 2008, so pre-real estate market crash.
Yeah.
It was early days still on Bravo, though, right? OC had just premiered in 2006. So it was just it was so in line with that time. Like all the
Right.
women were wearing slightly off bold colored tops with statement necklaces. You know exactly
I know
what
exactly.
I mean.
It was the early OC outfits.
That look. It was
yeah.
just Patti herself
Joe.
and every woman on the show. Yes. So Millionaire Matchmaker was on Bravo for 8 seasons, at which time Patti says she left the network, quote, to take her show elsewhere, which we'll also get into, but most people think there was a real pretty straightforward cancellation. But from 2008 to 2014, Millionaire Matchmaker was on Bravo. So there were so many Bravo celebrity crossovers on Millionaire Matchmaker. Do you remember any specifically?
No, I just know that is a thing where I've heard of people doing that. I did cover somebody. It was in the guy from Big Brother who like kind of went crazy.
Oh,
One of his partners I know was on that show. Yeah,
I don't remember their names, but yes,
no, not important.
So, I mean, there were some real like heavy hitting housewives who crossed over for different reasons. So, Carolyn Manzo of Real Housewives of New Jersey went on to find her sons Chris and Albie.
I was so confused when you started that.
I know. You were like,
where is this going?
Where was the season
Where's
where
Albert
she
Sr.?
wasn't in love with her husband? Yeah. And this one was complete with Albie being out on a date with a girl in the city. And there was like a tap on the glass of the bar where they were. And it was Jacqueline Larita and her husband, Chris, just in the neighborhood. I'm like, you live in Jersey.
Course.
You were not in the neighborhood. It was silly. And then Cynthia Bailey took Kenya on.
Oh, okay.
And that was a scandalous one because Kenya allegedly really liked the guy that Patti set her up with, but he was married.
Oh,
so this was happening way before Love is Blind. These married and previously engaged or married people come on and are not truthful. So, however, I will say I also read things that some people said it was a publicity stunt and Kenya knew. But
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it could go either way. Jill Zarin, of course, speaking of mothers trying to find love for their children, took on Allie Shapiro, her daughter, onto the show to find love. And they brought in a dating coach for her. So she brought on a young, hip dating coach, Kristen Cavallari from The Hills for Allie Shapiro. So that was interesting. So there's been a ton. There are probably more. But usually the Bravo appearance is after they are housewives, not before. So I must have blocked out that this happened because listen to this clip of a yet-to-be housewife attempting to find love and apparently qualifying as a millionaire on season 4 of Millionaire Matchmaker.
Tattoos, she's very masculine energy. She needs to be more of a girly girl.
My name's Leah McSweeney. I own Married to the Mob clothing line and I'm 27 years old. My net worth is somewhere between $2.5 and $3.5 million.
Chick's way older than 27.
She looks like she's been through the mill.
Hard life?
I'm definitely a downtown girl. I mean, I got the out of me by cops. I think that's pretty downtown.
I had gotten into a disagreement with a police officer and he attacked me. So I sued and I used that money to start Married to the Mob.
You know, I hate to say that, but that's a really good idea.
This is one of like the first teas I came out with. Boys ain't but hoes and tricks. I obviously have some issues with guys.
She's a brawler. She's a tough.
Patty, I need a guy that knows how to use what he's got, all right? Someone that's just like sexually open. I'm like really open. I talk about sex all the time.
You're not supposed to be talking about sex and like that. No guy's gonna want her.
What in the world?
Did you remember that?
So I feel like I've seen a clip or like it seems familiar to me, but I couldn't have told you before.
Same.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And also I find it so interesting that Leah was angling to get on Bravo before Real Housewives of New York.
And now she's against Bravo.
Exactly. And also that cop story, that was like her whole persona. I don't know. It just makes me feel like she's, I don't know. I'm not Leah's number one fan by any stretch, but this just gives me like the ick in a big way.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, we've talked about this a lot. This show in particular was in that window of time in reality TV where things just looked dated. We talked about the clothes and the hair. And the rules were so different. It's like the America's Next Top Model era where you could just say stuff to women and anyone that you just could not do today. And you watch it and you go, this was not 20 years ago. Yeah. And this just wouldn't fly. This show is just teeming with incidents like this. So You might be wondering, what do you mean? Well, it was 2008, I'll remind you. Again, that's not even...
Have you ever had that moment when you're leaving the house and you wonder, did I lock the door? Or worse yet, you start spiraling and you imagine all the what ifs. I used to feel that way all the time, but it wasn't until a few years ago when I heard about a break-in just a few blocks away that I realized I needed to really step up my home security game. And now I can spiral about the what ifs on things that don't matter, like reality stars, instead of the what ifs of home security. We've had Simply Safe protecting our house for the last few years now, and it's a total game changer. With Simply Safe's Fast Protect monitoring, I know within 5 seconds if something's actually up, and the lifeguards can actually speak to intruders to stop them. That's faster than a reality TV star can throw a drink. One of the things I really love the most is you're not locked into some over-the-top 90-day fiancé level contract drama. Simply Safe is actually affordable as well, less than $1 a day with no hidden fees, so it's easy to love. It's no wonder they've been named Best Home Security Systems by U.S. News and World Report for 5 years running. Whether you want to install it yourself, it really takes less than an hour, or have a professional handle it, Simply Safe is as easy as flipping channels between Chimp Crazy and The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So why wait for the drama to happen? Get Simply Safe and know your home is covered just like I did. Protect your home with 50% off a new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/criminality. That's simplysafe.com/criminality. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
20 years ago, these are quotes of her or the show. First, some were just innocuous and silly, like when Patti wants to refer to someone who worked in social media, she called them a social networker. It just sounds so dumb. Mm-hmm. And to describe anyone that she doesn't deem traditional, whatever that means, like not a job in finance, for a woman, they're alternative. So that's how she described Leah. And that's, I think, why I said that about Tori before, because it's in my brain. She uses that word all the time for a girl who's like maybe dyes her hair or something.
You know Leah loved that too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She's like terminally unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tori too.
I love that term, terminally unique. That's exactly it.
It's not mine, but yeah, it's a thing, and Leah and Tori have it. So the show started out featuring all men millionaires, but eventually they let the women be the one paying the money who had millions to date, but they were now millionaire S's, and that just seems so dumb and dated to me too. Mm-hmm. Another example, when Patti asked which woman the whatever bachelor was interested in, it was perfectly okay for him to say the Hispanic one, and for Patti to know exactly who he was talking about, because there was one. And
I was going to say, this is giving the Ryans on Seeking Sister Wives. Rebecca's favorite show, by the way, everyone. She loves the show.
Maybe we need
Doesn't
a segment.
forget it.
I remind Melissa that it's Seeking Sister Wife,
bad. Mm-hmm.
Mondays at 9, appointment television. Mm-hmm. What has become of my life? So you get the idea, but it's probably best you hear it straight from the source. Here are 2 clips of screening segments where they kind of parade these people in for potential dates, and Patti either praises or degrades them.
Nellie is a model. She's Trinidadian and she's Puerto Rican. Very attractive. Thank you.
She's a beautiful girl. Do you want to get married and have kids?
I'm getting serious with my life. I'm going back to school. I want commitment. I want a grown man.
Is that your real hair or is that a wig?
My hair. Yeah, my hair. I'm here.
Was it underneath there?
Yeah.
See it?
I'll lift it a little bit.
Do it.
I like her for Doug because he likes exotic. Bring your A game, bring your cocktail attire, and wear that wig.
Thank you, guys.
So Esther, she's a fashion designer and a gallery owner. She went to FIT. 22 to 28. How old are you?
That's my age range.
Now, how old are you?
Don't worry, I'm legal.
Okay, I don't see this happening. Do you see this? No.
Should I change my hair color?
No, you don't have to change your hair color. I'm just telling you that I would grow out your bangs, though.
Yes, I'm doing that now.
Okay, good. And you might want to get your teeth fixed.
Definitely.
Yeah, you might want to do veneers or those lumineers. You might want to go to a dentist and just check it out. A little horsey, and they can file them down and make them a little bit more feminine. She asked. I'm telling you.
I know.
Okay. See you anyway, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
I don't think she asked. I think she said, should I dye my hair? And then Patti told her, you look like a horse.
The escalation of you might want to like get your teeth checked, see a dentist, there's veneers, to looking like a horse. I mean, that just all happened. And the poor girl. And then the girl before asking about her hair. Is it real? Saying they liked her because she's exotic. I mean, it's a playbook in offensive commentary.
Like, I bet Bravo has to play that clip now to, like, you know, as like part of an HR
training
thing before you sign on to the show.
Like, they point and they're like, acceptable or unacceptable, and like they have to. Yes, that is. Yeah. I hope they do, because if they have this, they may as well use it for good. Because wow, Bravo, wow. So I was thinking about Patti a lot, unfortunately, because of this episode. And I thought, she is like Bethany Frankel. Like, sometimes if you close your eyes, you can hear Bethany. But she's worse. And that's bad. I mean, she is less enjoyable to watch than Bethany because she's mean-spirited. Bethany can be mean, but I don't think she's mean-spirited. I think Patti is. You look
Agree
dubious.
to disagree. Agree to disagree.
So you think she's mean-spirited?
Absolutely. I think at her core, she's a very bad person. Yeah. I think the charity work she does is allegedly is self-serving and great. I'm glad it's working out and she's getting tax breaks. And I do think she wants to help people, but I think it's self-serving. And I think at her core, she is.
Okay. I'm going to walk that back and just say Patti's less enjoyable to watch than Bethany. But they're the same.
Take that. We can take that. I will accept that.
Okay, so knowing this, that they're similar, do you think they get along like gangbusters or are enemies?
I think they hate what they see in themselves. Like, they see themselves and they
it's
hate
like
that.
they're a mirror. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the right word.
Okay, perfect. So they do have a pretty long, sordid friendship history. According to realityt.com, Patti appeared, this is back in the day, like 2017, on Heather McDonald's Juicy Scoop podcast. And on her show, she centers herself in some of the Roni drama. She says, Bethany, me, and Jill were really close during the early days of Bravo. I used to counsel her. I used to fix her up. She did something really awful to me at that point. I forgave her for it. Well, when pressed, she did reveal what the awful thing was. She talked about my personal life to my clients. I have a rule to not talk about the club or my clients. Stuff that is personal to me. End quote. So I don't know why she was so surprised if she was so familiar with Bethany that she talked behind her back about her and revealed secrets. But anyway, Patti also says she was part of one of the most iconic moments of Real Housewives of New York. Now, it wasn't as good as go to sleep, but it was get a hobby, if you remember. So I don't think the actual call from Bethany saying get a hobby was ever aired, but it fueled so much of the drama in that season. So Patti, on that same interview, says, when she told me she was going to leave that message on Jill's machine, also, you got to love machine. Yeah. I was like, please don't do this. Bobby took care of you for 2 years. You traveled. They bought you this. They took you here. I don't know if that just means her life. Like, they bought you this life. I don't know. That is a direct quote. Like. But so again, that voicemail wasn't aired. But if you don't mind, because I always love any reason we can go back to an old classic Real Housewives of New York moment. Let's listen to the fallout from that voicemail that was not heard around the world.
You were my best friend. I spoke to you 5 times a day.
Exactly.
And to go from that to a mouth, I will never forget what you said to me. I could quote it like yesterday. You need to get a hobby. Well, guess what? I got a hobby. My hobby was my husband got cancer, and my hobby was going to the hospital, visiting with him, taking care of him, and feeding him.
Okay, but now I have to know where Patti's involved, because was she involved in just saying don't leave that voicemail?
Yeah, that was her involvement. That was enough for her to talk about on a podcast. This is who she is. I think she really liked to stay relevant and would just like latch on to who was in the news on Bravo. Right. And I think she claims a lot of pride around being one of those early Bravo shows.
Sure.
And she does feel that she never got the respect from Andy Cohen. She actually ended up having, I don't know what the word is, like hot and cold relationship with him. She was pretty offensive. She's been a many-time guest on Watch What Happens Live.
Okay.
And she's offended Andy more than once. I didn't include that in the story, but Google it and you'll see why. So, Melissa, it seems this is going to be one of those stories where the heart of the crime is buried a little deeper. So let's take a quick break from this week's sponsor, and then I'll tell you all about it. So beyond being part of the Wild West days of reality TV and involving herself in Bravo mess to stay relevant, what we really came to talk about is how and what crimes have touched the life of Patti Stanger and Millionaire Matchmaker. First up, 2017, Patti was filming $1 Million Matchmaker. Now, this is post-Bravo Millionaire Matchmaker. She got canceled on Bravo and took this to WeTV with the slightly adjusted title, $1 Million Matchmaker.
Okay.
Same everything.
Okay, what are they again? $1 Million Matchmaker versus...
No, the first one is Millionaire Matchmaker.
Okay.
And the second one, now on WeTV, is $1 Million Matchmaker. just a synonym for millionaire.
Semantics. My gosh.
But there's going to be a third, but you're going to have to wait for it. So this episode was filmed in a Los Angeles hotel called the Lux Sunset Boulevard Hotel, who assured Patti that security was top-notch on these premises. She was told by the head of security that there were on-site guards and closed-circuit cameras that were constantly monitored. Now, I don't know if Patti came in with concerns about security, because it seems interesting to me that this was like a selling point, because it was when she learned all this that she said, wow, this sounds really great. I'm actually going to stay here personally, and it'll just be more efficient if I'm staying where we're filming, which to me seems very logical. Like, why wouldn't you plan that anyway? So Patti was given 3 rooms during production. One was for her wardrobe and makeup, one was for her to sleep in, and one was for storing her personal belongings. Melissa, this is how we're traveling next time we go to CrimeCon or wherever. I want 3 rooms.
The fact that I just am so excited to have my own room anywhere, it's just, I can't,
one.
Can't imagine that level.
I know. So on May 3rd of 2017, Stanger claims that she comes back to her room and that someone unrelated to the series who had authority to be in her room stole a, quote, large portion of her belongings. So let's talk about what went down. According to legal documents, it seems like this is like a heist straight out of a movie. The thieves, and they believe there would be multiple because of what they took.
Okay.
Police estimate it probably took an hour to execute their plan because they had the audacity to use her suitcases to fill with her belongings. They apparently took hundreds of items. So Patti contacts the LAPD to investigate. But this is where things get weird. Remember the hotel's security footage?
Yeah.
Turns out those cameras were decorative.
Stop.
They were decoys to deter staff from pilfering in rooms and not to actually capture criminal activity. Which is amazing because they like sold it. Like, we are top notch over here. It's very bold.
Yeah, you have to know that it could still happen. And if it does happen, the first thing someone's going to say is, thank goodness for these security cameras. And you have to say, sorry, it's, it's pretend.
They're props.
It's just to look cute. Yeah.
I know. And also, does this not make you think, I mean, I don't know, inside job. I mean, if everyone that works there knows these, I mean, someone must have figured out. I guess they don't tell the staff they're decoys. Surely someone figured it out. So I'm not saying it was someone in the hotel. I'm just saying the call might be coming from inside the room. Okay, so the LAPD did manage to find a suspect who left fingerprint evidence. But the case fell apart because there was not a shred of recorded evidence anywhere. And the fingerprint wasn't enough because someone could theoretically have been in that room before and been in there legally at another time. So the case didn't really go anywhere. But that didn't deter Patti. She decides to take matters into her own hands. And with her lawyer, Kirk Edward Schenck, because his name, I don't know, is important.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So with him by her side, she decides she's seeking justice and suing the hotel and asking for an undisclosed amount in damages. Patti says this is not about the money. She wants answers and she doesn't want anyone to feel unsafe and have that feeling of violation that she had. Sure. And she thinks the Lux Hotel should be held accountable for its lapse in security. And, she's not wrong. So in a statement from her lawyer, He said, in our opinion, the Lux Hotel has to completely reinvent its security protocols. People assume cameras in hotel hallways and common areas are operating and functional for protection in a time of need. End quote. I agree. I mean, when I see those, I think,
sure.
Glad those are here.
Yeah.
And for Patti, she says this robbery was a wake-up call. She really hopes no one else has to go through this kind of personal violation, and she hopes the case will raise awareness to the fact that many luxury hotels, who people think are protected and safe, are actually just prime targets for large-scale theft rings, a la Kim Kardashian, which happened 1 year prior to this.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, and we've seen that all over Hollywood and stuff. So, you know, it is a thing. I'm sure it does feel very safe when you're unsafe, when you're a well-known or high-profile person who has belongings that are likely to be high in value. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this all happened when nobody was in a room. So as scary as it was to know someone was in your room or people, nobody was physically hurt and nobody encountered an actual perpetrator. But this wasn't Patti's first time being named in a lawsuit. But in the next instance, she was the defendant. A widow named Heidi Williams sought love through Patti's services. This was when they were allowing millionairesses, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
But Heidi was a little older than Patti's age cutoff, which I can't prove, but I think was lower than it was for men. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I just feel like there were dudes that were like
it.
pushing 70 on the show, and I saw this woman and she was not.
Yeah.
So not to worry, Patti's got a referral company that she can send her to. So she does. She says, go use my friend's matchmaking service who does seniors or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Oh my gosh.
And Patti receives a referral fee for this. So Heidi claims the matchmaking company she went to costs $15,000 to join, which Patti's does too. I mean, more than that. People pay so much money. We're going to get into that. But she pays the money, but she only got one in-person date and one phone date. And then she kind of was blown off. So now she's suing Patti for $45,000 in damages, which I don't really know. It seems kind of silly to me. And honestly, if you could sue a matchmaker for not being satisfied with the services, or if you could against Patti, I mean, she would have a lot more than one client suing her because of her 10 plus years of matchmaking on television. She has had one couple make it to the altar.
Stop. So not even stay married, just one couple got there.
Exactly. So
The
something
Bachelor
tells
has
me
better odds than that.
I know that's
The Bachelor.
exactly what I thought.
Love is
That's
Blind does. My gosh.
for real. So my point being, I don't think this woman's case had a lot to many legs to stand on, and the resolution is, of course, unknown. We don't know. Now, some of the things Patti has said on camera, as we've heard, seem criminal to us now in 2024. But it's honestly Patti's clients on the show who have been found to be on the way wrong side of the law. And it is so bad. I don't know what it is about dating shows that attract men who are just straight up liars, predators, and criminals. But here we go.
Okay.
Each of these stories could be an episode of its own, but we're just going to run down some of the winners that you might have been lucky enough to get matched with if you were on one of her shows. These all were on the original Bravo version of Millionaire Matchmaker. Okay. Now, I will say all these crimes, because I cross-referenced the season they were on and that year and the year of the crime, these were all done after they were on the show.
Okay.
But some of them had previous records of lesser offenses.
Sure.
So I don't know if it's just a type of person that's drawn to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
That has like some kind of criminal propensity.
Like they're just waiting to get on TV to start their crime spree.
I don't know. I mean, at the very least, it shows like a very like dishonest kind of character. I don't know. But our first bachelor is Michael Anthony Proser III, who was on season 2, which would have been 2009. And it turns out he wasn't exactly as rich as he claimed. In fact, he was a total con artist. And in 2012, he copped to tricking a bank into giving him a $3 million loan using a fake bank account as collateral for the loan. And before he went to trial, he even tried to buy a couple of expensive cars with the fake money, like the loan money.
Oh my gosh.
So this did not help him, and he ended up getting going to jail while waiting for trial without bail. And he did end up serving 8 years, or I don't know if he's out. Well, it's 20. Yeah, I think he's probably out. But he got an 8-year sentence and was ordered to pay $3 million in restitution. Pretty serious.
Yeah.
So the next couple are sexual assault content warnings for anyone who wants to skip ahead a couple of minutes. And we won't spend long on them. But John Bonavia appeared on season 7 of Millionaire Matchmaker, hoping to find a wife to finally settle down with. He was unlucky in love on the show, but 3 years later, in 2015, the woman that the police found in his home was way less lucky. A call from a neighbor was reportedly made because they heard disturbing screams. The authorities broke into this guy's house, who, from all things I can see, was a total finance bro, if you can kind of picture that, to find a woman in such bad condition that they initially charged him with attempted murder. She was so severely beaten. He was later charged with felony injury to a cohabitant, so they're assuming it was his girlfriend, and making criminal threats. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Please note that is less than the financial crime listed
first
before.
thing in my head. Oh my gosh.
But this wasn't his first run-in with the law. He'd been arrested for public intoxication, hurling profanities at strangers and patrons in a bar, ordered to appear in court and to get sober. And earlier that year, he was accused of assaulting his ex-girlfriend, who reported the incident to the authorities, said that there was a record, and he had to pay her damages. So just a terrible, terrible guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And okay, so the other guy, I'm not for the guy stealing money, but my gosh, this
Why
guy
are we giving more? This will never make sense to me.
Sentencing is absolutely makes me crazy sometimes, because they're
it's
not the same thing.
No, it's like the burden of proof. I know it's all like a formula, like these misdemeanor and felony.
Sure.
You know this better than I do. But in like white collar crime versus criminal, it's like so much harder to get those
money shouldn't
bigger
be more
charges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. Like, yes, you should have consequences for financial fraud because you do hurt people and impact their lives.
Absolutely.
8 years versus 5 for beating a woman to I can't. It's so upsetting. And this doesn't get better. Let's get through this next one. So in 2015, Michael Birnbach, who appeared in season 5, now he didn't go to trial, I want to say upfront, before I say what he was charged with. They didn't have enough evidence, and he has always maintained his innocence. But allegedly, there were reports that he raped multiple women. A neighbor told CBS Los Angeles that he would see him with women at his house, like multiple a night, like going in and out. And he did have a previous a record of drug possession and battery at the time of his arrest. So it's unclear if the women brought charges or if the police were acting on calls from neighbors and he'd had this previous record. But because there was no evidence, they really didn't have a case against him, so he didn't go to trial. He's always said that he did not sexually assault or rape anyone, but allegedly there was reason for the police to investigate it. Again, just another guy appearing on Millionaire Matchmaker. Mm-hmm. So here we are, 2024. Hopefully, Patti has learned how to be respectful of people on her show, because what she used to do just doesn't fly anymore. Hopefully, the vetting process on her show for candidates has also improved because she is back on TV.
Oh my gosh.
Just last month of this year, a new iteration of Millionaire Matchmaker is going to be on the CW. What do you think the title of this show is? Yeah, where it belongs. Where shows go to die.
Yeah, Millionaire Matchmaker.
So we had Millionaire Matchmaker, and then we had $1 Million Matchmaker, and now we have
$1 Million Matchmaker.
May as well be. No, this one, she's going full titles, main character energy. Patti Stanger, the Matchmaker.
Oh, so we're going to let the pores on there now, Patti?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yep. Apparently, you don't have to be a high net worth individual because apparently none of them are. So,
yeah, seriously.
She's bringing in someone this time, though, that I know our listeners will know. You know him too. And they're calling him a relationship expert. He has a podcast.
Is it Nick Viall?
Yep. They're calling him a relationship expert. with relationship expert Nick Viall, or whatever his last name is.
Kristen Cavallari is currently Cavallari. I've never known it. She is currently dating a Montana boy. Do you know?
Yes,
do you know
the young
Montana
guy?
boys? Yes.
Yeah.
They dance to country. They lip sync.
Yeah.
And she was a relationship expert. I give her more credence as a relationship expert than I give Nick Viall.
Well, why? I mean, he did find love after The Bachelor twice.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Something about that guy. I shouldn't say that, but something about that guy.
You can say it, because I watched a segment of the newest version of this show.
Really?
And they are trying so hard to have like a comeback and a redemption like era. Like, let's have a new Patti Stanger era. And it's not happening. But they're both now using like pop psychology and words they've heard in therapy or heard other people talk about. Do you know what I'm saying? They're all using this language like, wow, sounds like unresolved childhood trauma. Like that's what Patty's talking about now. And like, that must be so hard. I'm more concerned with what's in here. And she points to the girl's heart. I'm like, since when? And yeah, I know. Or do you mean her implants, which is actually what I think you went.
Right.
So yeah, and Nick's like, well, I'm not a psychologist, but it sounds like you have deep insecurity. And this really made me mad, actually, because the girl was talking about do you know who it was?
Who?
It was Gigi from Shaws of Sunset.
Really?
Yeah, and she seemed super cool, but she was like, she's a mom. She's a single mom by choice. And she was, after 7 years, ready to start dating again. She'd not been in a relationship. And she basically said, I'm pretty conservative, like in the bedroom. And I feel like guys expect something different, and I don't do that. And I feel like people won't be interested in me. And instead of saying, you should only do what you are comfortable with, and you should move at your own pace and be who you are.
And that's fine.
In intimacy and on a date at dinner, like just be you. Nick starts saying, sounds like you have deep insecurities. And that the minute a man starts expressing what he needs, you're afraid you won't be able to fulfill them. And I thought, okay, we're back in 2008 / the dark ages. What are we talking about? I was so upset, and no one was just saying like, you can make those decisions that are best for you and what you're comfortable with on an intimate level. It was very upsetting. So I won't be watching the new version. I know. And he was basically talking about the guy's needs, and that like it is going to be on her if she doesn't fulfill them.
Well, just don't date Nick Viall. You should be okay.
Oh my gosh. So this is all really upsetting. And I just wanted to end that her Millionaires Club website is still live. And I just thought it might be fun for you to guess how much it costs for some services. Melissa, you want to just have a half-hour call with Patti. 30 minutes, okay? More than a cameo. It's like live in-person exchange. You're looking for love. What would you pay? Or what do you think she's charging?
Okay, let's say, what do you think she's charging? Because I would need to be paid for that call.
Okay, fair.
So, okay, you said $15,000 to Red. Let's say $2,000.
It was a bargain. $1,000.
Wow. Okay.
You could get a whole hour for $1,800. Okay.
Oh.
Well.
Wow.
Maybe you want to Zoom because you want to connect eye to eye.
That wasn't even Zoom?
No, that's just literal. Yeah, no, a Zoom is going to be $3,000.
Does seeing Patti Stanger's harsh dye job, is that really worth the extra $1,200?
Harsh. And it's so harsh. Well, want to share a meal with Patti? Lunch?
No.
$10,000.
Go ahead.
$10,000. Lunch isn't enough, though, let's be honest. You want weekend with Patti and her staff. Prices available upon request. She also has psychic readings on here. An in-person reading is $10,000. I assume that's with someone else.
I hope it's with her. I hope it's with Nick. I hope it's with Nick.
She has so many side hustles now. There's the Millionaire Matchmaker Business Consulting. If your business needs an overhaul, contact her for details and pricing. Millionaire Matchmaker Pretty Pal Makeover. Sometimes a mental makeover isn't enough. Pretty Pal Makeover works with some of the top stylists, makeup artists, hairdressers, and more in order to get you looking and feeling your best. Contact her for rates. Sexy Sidekick Program. Too shy to introduce yourself to that beautiful girl at the bar? Not sure what to say or how to approach her? Sexy Sidekick is the package for you. A night on the town with a gorgeous girl who will be your best wingman. Contact us today for more information. And it goes on and on. Ask Patti program. Millionaire Matchmaker photography services.
I thought that was Millionaire Matchmaker for toddlers.
You know what? Manhattan moms would probably do it. They'd be like, we got her into the right kindergarten. Let's secure her husband now while we can.
Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Yeah, I just, this is the page. Okay, so this is actually the page to join the club, which includes being in the database. This is the annual, what do you get?
Oh, annual, okay.
Yeah, you get, note all memberships are open to all male and female millionaires. Starts at the bronze level. What do you think?
Bronze. Okay, I'm going to start with 15 or 10. Let's start with 10,000 at bronze.
No.
5.
For bronze, you have to spend, I think this is somewhere around the like national average of a salary, maybe 45,000.
Are you serious?
I don't know. That's probably higher now. Yeah, that's 1 year of unlimited dating in the US and Canada. You get a 2-month freeze if you travel. You get Patti's commandments of dating and steps to success, written feedback from your dates, an assistant matchmaker access on weekdays, 9 to 5 only, no holidays, and email correspondence with assistant only, no text messaging. So that's not enough. So let's go to silver. You get 65. So you get all that plus someone to speak with during your membership.
That's it. For an extra $20,000, you can just talk to somebody?
And reach your matchmaker on holidays or weekends. But Melissa,
this is
I
an
can see it in your
emergency
eye. I can see it in your eye. You want more. Gold for you. $85,000. All of that plus an hour of relationship counseling with Patti herself. Outreach to singles seen on TV, Instagram, and celebrities. I haven't even read these until now. So they're going to stalk famous people for you. 3 Patti Stanger coaching sessions. So that's weird. That's a separate bullet because they just said you got 1 hour. And then all the silver package features. Yeah, we figured. But I think you know you're worth it. You want platinum. This is 1 year of unlimited global dating. You get everything in the gold, plus customized to your needs, including international searches. Patti will be available to you for 4 video chats. You can have virtual or in-person mixers. And asterisk, there may be an additional fee for local, national, international advertising. 6 figures, 120,000, baby.
I will say, if you're willing to pay $120,000, you are a millionaire. So we got that out of the way. That person is a millionaire.
Well, that should be the base amount if they're actually doing a millionaires club. You should be liquid enough to have 6 figures to join something like this.
And you should have to watch somebody burn it in front of you because you are absolutely the biggest idiot I've ever heard of. 90 Day Fiancé, they do this for free. You want to find international? Garrick finds new wives all the time.
I know. You just need to be a little more resourceful. Jeez. I want someone, remember when Ashley Madison got hacked and it leaked who was in it? I want this leaked. I want to know who the millionaires in this are. Is that bad?
Ooh, no, absolutely
aren't
not.
the cool
do we have
millionaires
hackers that listen to us?
Just on Raya? Yeah. Do we? Someone do it. Use your talent for good.
There are some talented hackers that do things for good. So
that would be
do
this.
your thing. Let us know.
Expose these
we
people.
We will not be paying you any money.
I am guilty of not scrolling to the bottom like Alexia from Real Housewives of Miami. There is a Patti Stanger exclusive for $285,000 plus expenses. This is the only option. This is like real. You are getting something very special right now. Like, Melissa's sweating. She's breathing in a paper bag.
I'm having a minty bee.
This calls for a minty bee. Okay, guys, $285,000 plus expenses. This is the only option to have direct access to Patti Stanger herself. Melissa falls off chair. United States, Canada, international priority status. You will receive first pick of any new matches. Pick. Vice President of Matchmaking will travel to meet you in person for your interview. VP will be there on the day of your photoception. That's optional. Your MC matchmaker will introduce you and guide you on your dates. Please note there's an additional fee if you would like to have Patti meet you in person, so you meet her on Zoom. This is based on Patty's schedule and availability as her time is limited. Best to book in advance. Sign up now. Wow, wow, wow.
How can you, as a human being in this world, say not only are you going to pay me $280,000, you can call me, I guess, but also more fees? So help me God, if there is a day I ever pay $280,000 and then somebody says, also there could be additional fees. No, there's not. No, there is not. There's not.
The confidence, God grant me the confidence of Patti Stanger. What am I doing wrong in my business? I need to
honestly,
I need to rehaul my website.
Absolutely. You need to say, how much is this worth? No, it's not. It's worth 5,000 times that.
It must be the allure. People must fall for this. I am now going to start doing things like I do free consultations for my freelance work. No, not anymore.
Fool.
I'm going to start charging and it's going to not be on a Zoom. I want them to work and pay more to see this face.
Yeah. You should have to pay me to see this.
Exactly. Oh gosh, there's so much fine print. We do not have time to read it, but man, do I want to. It includes earthquake, fires, floods, acts of God. This is great. Once a mixer location is booked, there can be no changes made.
Even acts of God?
My wheels are turning. I don't know what this is inspiring me, but I feel like a creative project is coming out of this. And Melissa, I don't know. This is life-changing information.
I'm down to scam people. That's like what I've learned from this. I'm okay with scamming people. $285,000?
You guys just heard that. So when we launch Patreon next week, just really, read the fine print. Just kidding. We would never do that. But I can't stop reading this website. And I thought, I just want to find that one link that talks about like how much it is to Zoom with her. Right. I had no idea this was going to take me to the $285,000 exclusive page. Wow. She has been...
I want to know one name on there. Just one.
Oh, no. I need the whole list with thumbnail image next to them. I really, really do.
I want scratch and sniff because those people are spending all their money at not buying any toiletries because you can't afford it after that.
Oh, wow. Sorry. I'm just recovering from that because that was unexpected information. They accept checks, wire transfer, no credit cards. That's fair. If they're millionaires, they've got the funds.
What if the guy that was like doing the $3 million wire transfer that went to jail, what if he used money to get this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To get that date and they just haven't caught him yet.
Wait.
They didn't catch him for that. They caught him for the other thing. But
what if I do a contact form and we get a response to read on air like we did with Lisa Cloud?
Please do it.
For anyone who didn't hear on the last episode, I had an update that did I tell you she wrote Where Am I Based?
Yes, and then you stopped. We decided
we got
that
scared.
was enough.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I mentioned that. How has she done this? She's written books. She has a podcast. It's called The Love Report.
Why doesn't that have Matchmaker in it? That's so stupid. Like branding at this point.
Well, it's above it. The Millionaire Matchmaker Love Report, but it's called Love Report. Okay. Her pictures are just increasingly face-tuned on this website. I'm going to send you the homepage.
Is she giving Darcy Silva?
Yes. How did you even called that without even seeing it? I'm going to send this to you in the chat right now. Okay, listeners, I'm going to get off this page because I can't take my eyes off it. But if you want the URL, it's millionairesclub123.com.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst.
So bootleg. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Patti looks like the doll from Lars and the Real Girl. Did you ever see that movie? It's one of my favorite movies.
No, but
ever.
I can picture,
which my husband thinks is very not normal.
That's exactly right, Melissa.
I mean,
wow.
Just
insert blue eyes, and it's real, and that's like the same outfit she would wear. Oh my gosh, it's so disturbing. So, Melissa, the Millionaire Matchmaker lives on. I mean, what a brand. Created in 2000, 24 years going strong on the CW. Unstoppable.
I wish it would stop, but I appreciate the story, and I wish the story would have gone on forever because this was so fun, and I'm obsessed with... I just want to be a platinum Patti Stanger girl.
I want the exclusive.
You want exclusive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's like exclusive or bust,
You're worth it. Yeah, do it.
Mm-hmm. I always want what I can't have, though. This
So
really
does
took a
Patti.
turn. That was way more fun than I expected. That was really fun.
Oh, I loved it. Thank you so much. I learned so much about a lady I didn't care about, and I still don't care about her, but I am fascinated by her mind and her marketing skills.
That's all it is. And I feel like I have those two things, and I'm resentful that I am here at this age, not here with you. I love this part.
That hurts.
Here at this station in life.
Sure.
And not at the top of my game like Patti.
I think it is kind of a like overcharging people in a way where people think, well, why is it so expensive?
Yeah.
What is this?
Exactly.
And here
No,
you are
it's I
giving
think that's-
consultations away for free.
Yeah, it's a time-tested theory, right? It's like people want exclusivity and they want to feel special. And
look at Patti giving exclusivity for $285,000 plus.
exactly.
fees.
Exactly. Okay. My wheels are turning. So what can I watch? What have you been watching that might help me recalibrate? Because I'm unwell.
So I have been watching my Unwell series of different things. So I'm watching a few things. One of them has to do with my next episode, so I don't want to tell you that.
Oh.
This is weird. You won't get it. I need you to accept that because it's not even a show. Not even a show. It's content. Okay?
Okay.
I'm just going to say the clues and say the thing right after.
Honestly, we should eliminate this segment. Now that we have Tori under Tori's spell, we should take away the guessing part, or at least take away the part where I guess, because I never guess. You should just tell me what you're watching. That's
Okay, here's what I'm watching. I'm watching improvbroadway.com. It's Shay, Zach, and Caleb. It's these three people from, I think, Utah. They have, I pay $5 a month now because they got me on TikTok.
Wow.
And it's content all the time, but they do musical Mondays where they have like an idea and they act like this is an actual musical and hear the songs from it, and it goes through. And they're very talented singers. They had a song this week called We Are Worms, and that sounds so stupid, but it was so fun, and just like it's brought me constant joy. So I've just been listening to different clips. So if you're looking for something, if you like improv, which I love improv, I love good improv.
Yes.
And the musical side of it isn't really normally my thing, but it is so funny. But it's improvbroadway.com, and I haven't even gotten into other stuff. I'm only on their musical Mondays, and I'm loving it.
This is such a departure, and it sounds just so like uplifting for you. I'm happy about this.
It
I think this
is.
is good antidote, palate cleanser to Tori.
Mm-hmm. And, I have two ways of going. I could have gone Grey Gardens again because I was feeling the need to go there. But I found this, and I'm singing about worms now. It's great.
I'm curious enough that I'm going to have to actually look them up because I think this could be something I get into.
I will send you a clip. I think you would. It's really fun.
Wholesome.
I'm enjoying
fun.
it. Yeah, I needed it.
You don't need to explain it. I mean, enjoy it. I love that.
Great.
Well, this is not that.
Oh, no.
This is... where are my notes? So, clues, Netflix.
Okay.
Based on a book. German.
Okay, I've heard people talking about this, and I didn't even know it was on Netflix, but it's some kind of thing where I saw people staying up till like 4 a.m. to watch it, but I don't know what it's called. Maybe it has an R in it.
Yeah, in it. Sorry, now I'm just like,
That's like a
feeling
psychic.
so smug
That's like a
that
psychic.
you're not getting it. I'm like,
No, you're
yeah, there is a letter R in the title somewhere. It's called Dear Child.
Okay, this isn't it at all. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm going to read you the blurb, but I did read the book and I had just read it. Well, audio.
Ooh.
And it was,
yeah, of course.
So, yeah. Were we kidding? It was so good. And I think I'd heard that it was a Netflix show, but it said it was a book. And I feel like I have to share Libby with people who don't know. It's this library app called Libby. You attach your public library card to it and you can get audiobooks on it. So it's just this really additional great way to get audiobooks for free.
Right.
So Dear Child was on there and it said now a Netflix show. So I'm like, perfect. I'm going to read it first and then watch it. And I'm so glad I did it that way. But here's the blurb about the show. A mysterious woman's escape from her harrowing captivity points investigators towards the dark truth behind an unsolved disappearance 13 years earlier. So it's just one of these shows where and books. Well, the book, it took so long to figure out what happens. And in the show, they kind of start at the big action point, which makes sense. But it's one of the stories, one of the shows where you don't know what's happening. And then you go, oh, it's her and she was this.
Okay.
But then it's wrong. And you're like, wait, what? It's just so twisty. And
Ooh, okay.
I don't generally like foreign language with subtitles because I'm usually multitasking
It's hard.
or
Yes, I
working
know.
or surfing the internet or folding laundry. But because I read it, I felt really committed, and you do have to watch pretty closely.
Right.
The acting's amazing. It's so good. It's really good.
It sounds good. You
Scary.
did lose me at subtitles in the nicest way.
You could
I
probably-
have to really think about.
I wonder if you could choose dubbing. I just hate dubbing.
Dubbing is terrible.
Dubbing, I'd rather watch subtitles. Yeah, you have to be in the mood and be up for the challenge of that. I don't blame anyone who's not, because generally that is like a deal breaker for me, unless I feel pretty confident I'm going to love it. And in this
Right.
one, it's so good. But did you read Room? I think they turned that into a show too.
Room, but I didn't.
There's a little bit of that. It's just like captivity, isolation, just sad. Really good.
Yeah, I might not do that while I'm on my We Are Worms,
kick. You're on like your high on life thing. Just stay there.
Yeah.
I'll stay in the room. You stay with the worms. But tell me I want to know, you won't tell me, but what you're watching for the research. So what's your next episode clues?
My clues are A&E, like the station, or station, whatever it's called now, streaming service. I don't know. Jinx and Jules. I will say, this took a turn for me as I learned more. There's it's really cool. But the show it's from is like my new favorite thing. So it will be I think it'll be fun. And we should have clips. I should have decent clips.
I'm excited. Jinx and what?
Jules.
Jules.
Not the singer, but
Yeah.
the other ones.
Huh. Oh man, I'm going to be thinking about this. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
no
excited.
pressure on this one, knowing this one, because
Obscure?
this is so far. Yeah, it's so obscure. I would be surprised if you've heard of the show, and beyond surprised if you've heard of the person.
Really?
That's how far we're
Really?
going
Oh,
with
so
this.
we're going to have a real education. Okay.
Absolutely. Very excited.
As we do. Well, can't wait. This was so much fun.
So much fun.
What a way to end a Tuesday night.
Always. Yes. I enjoyed this. Love doing this with you. Always fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We are on social media-ish. Instagram, probably.
Yeah.
We've got some content we've just created throughout this episode.
Yeah.
So you can check us out at Criminality Show on Instagram, criminalityshow.com, if you want to see what's there. Rebekah, let's do this again in a few weeks.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.